Affairs, Ms. Smriti Irani in the hall. She scripted history as India's youngest Union Cabinet Minister in the government. She's broken the glass ceiling in politics, triumphed in bastions where dynastic politics had taken hold, and played a transformative role in every portfolio that she has held. As the Minister for Women and Child Development, she's put the focus on women's leadership at the grassroots and female enterprise. As Minority Affairs Minister, she's been at the forefront of ensuring welfare schemes to uplift all minority communities. May I request you all to please be seated. We've got the Union Minister, Ms. Smriti Irani, in conversation on the Minority Report with the Editor-in-Chief, Arnab Goswami. Ladies and gentlemen, please settle down.
Thank you so much. Thank you. A session all of us have been looking forward to for a long time, and it's a pleasure, privilege to always have you on our forums.
Thank you.
Smriti ji. Thank you very much. And may I begin by saying that I have been privileged to have a sort of acquaintance with Smriti Irani over almost 20 years now. And I have seen her grow from a well-known actor to a professional and a producer and a leading member of the media community in this country, then as a member of parliament, as a redoubtable MP from Amethi, vanquishing many people and continuing to vanquish them, and now as a union minister. So I think it's been a remarkable journey. I mean, I just want to tell you, it's a remarkable journey, and I consider you to be a completely self-made person, and I think that's why you have a connect with so many of our viewers.
Thank you. And normally when you're so kind, one awaits the disaster that follows.
So are minorities in danger? You're the Minorities Affairs Minister, you're the Minister for Minorities, Women and Child Welfare. The feeling is that under your government and under your individual stewardship of the Ministry of Minorities, particularly Minority Affairs, that minorities are in danger. There is a genuine danger to minorities under your watch.
I think minority appeasement politics is in danger, not the minority community. And I say so because data proves it. There was a recent fact sheet taken out by certain economists who have studied close to 1.2 million households in our country from the year 2015 up to the year 2021. Particularly if you speak about the Muslim community on the issues of electricity, access to bank accounts, the community has seen an improvement of up to 77%. Now, when you have economists back such a position with data which is available because of the input from the citizen concerned, I think that becomes one of the greatest measures of how well the government has done on issues of development, irrespective of who belongs to which community. That the Prime Minister has said that we believe as a government in challenging status quo. And if you look before 2014, what was status quo? Status quo was that there was politics of fear that was engineered in the Muslim community, in the minority community, as though if you do not align to the political interests of the Congress party, you shall perish. Now, from 2014 onwards to this day, when you see the minority community flourish under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, the question that begets that development, situationally, societally, is that what was that fear all about? So I believe that when you ask me whether minorities are in danger, I can say as somebody not only as a minority minister, but also somebody married into a minority family. There is another member of the Parsi community right there in the first row seated here. Parsis are the micro-minorities. There are only 55,000 of them in the entire world. And I proudly say when I represent some people of the community, they say an Indian cannot be a minority in their own country. So this whole disposition that you always shall be segregated, that you shall always live in fear, is a Congress political legacy of this country. And I'm very proud that I'm part of a political disposition that dispels this very fallacy.
But then the argument against is that, you know, you said in Parliament recently, for example, you said that the government has earmarked 30% of seats for female minority students in various central government scholarship schemes. Critics say that, you see, Smriti Irani is excellent, this government is excellent putting out selective numbers, that actually it's an eyewash.
You
It's
can't be
because they say
selective
the
about
reality is the
1.2
opposite.
million households, Arnab.
Yeah, the lobby writes different
You
things.
cannot, the lobby rights exists as a lobby, as you have rightly said. The lobby rights exists because, again, like I said, their entire ecosystem feeds off fear. Now imagine when the government with data can back the premise that this is a government that looks at the poorest of the poor and how can you facilitate a better life for them. And when you look at the Muslim community per se, you will see that the poorest of the poor in the Muslim community have also benefited. But the question that one needs to ask is the term minority only to encompass the Muslim community? What about the Jains? What about the Parsis? What about the Sikhs? So I think that when the Congress party reduced the term minority only to one community, did it not do a great disfavor to other communities?
And on what
that are
basis do you
also-
say that they did?
Well, they have done many interventions, let's say from the state of Karnataka. They have taken away rights under reservation that were constitutionally
Correct.
not allowed, taken it away, that too from the OBC community, from the Dalit community, and given religion-based reservation, which is a
Are you
constitutional
saying it's
anomaly.
unconstitutional? Are you saying it's unconstitutional?
I don't have to say it, the Constitution says it.
The Supreme
fact-
Court has upheld the 4% quota for Muslims
I
in
will
Andhra
not
Pradesh.
comment on the Supreme Court on a sub judice matter. The issue is that the Congress party, knowing that religion-based reservation is disallowed under the Constitution provisions, has still gotten on and done it. I think the question that needs to be debated today is that what makes the Congress persistently so anti-majority, so anti-constitution? That is a question that no rights lobby in the country is talking about.
Is a Muslim
So
quota
when you take away
anti-majority?
4% reservation from the Lingayats or the Vokaligas in Karnataka, how come the so-called lobbyists of rights of those who have been forsaken in the OBC community did not make a song and dance
But you've
about
changed
it?
the bucket. You've taken it from the Muslim community and given it to other
Firstly,
communities. So
you
are you being
cannot present
equal
it.
either?
Firstly, you cannot present it as though they, in the community of Muslims, have been denied a right. The narrative is being presented as though the Muslims have been denied a right. One needs to first correct that narrative. This is a right meant only for OBCs, SC, STs. Those who are the poorest of the poor are already covered under the EWS category. The very intention of the Congress party was, one, to violate constitutional provisions, and second, when you set it right constitutionally, then to again precipitate a fear in the Muslim community. So the Congress is playing a chit bhi meri, pat bhi meri game with the Muslim community.
The argument being put is what the Muslim community has, and I'll be specific since you're choosing to be specific about it as well. Why not go into the details, Ms. Irani? That the feeling is that you have come in as a minority affairs minister with a preconceived agenda, and that you are slowly, as the elections approach, you are slowly unfurling that agenda.
Can you give me the evidence as minority minister? What have I done?
You follow an agenda on things.
No, give me evidence.
Oh,
Don't give me Congress whispers.
For example, what you're doing with the Waqf Board.
What am I doing?
You're taking it away. You're
Who
taking
said?
away. I'm putting the other side. You're
Who
taking
said?
away.
Give me evidence.
People who are fond of you.
You're
say,
normally not at a loss for words, so give me evidence
people
now.
who are fond of you say, I'm not at a loss of words at all. Don't provoke me. Ms. Irani, please. We've been to...
We have
Miss-
two distinguished legal eagles seated again, and I'm looking at them. Show me the evidence.
I just thought that since being a spokesperson and now a minister,
I've
you
never
are
been a
becoming...
spokesperson. Again, a correction that needs to be made.
No, I
I've
thought-
never been an official spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Well,
I've been
since
a
you have
debater.
appeared on 317
I've been the vice
programs of mine.
president of Bharatiya Janata Party. I've been the national president
Right.
of the women's wing. I've been a 5-time part of the executive. I've been all of that, including twice the national secretary, but I've never been the spokesperson.
But since you're avoiding the question on
I'm
the Waqf
not.
Board...
I'm stating facts.
No, I'm saying you're a minority affairs minister
Yes.
who has come with a preconceived agenda
Which
to
is
take
what?
away under the guise of misappropriation of properties, the rights of the Muslim community, to have access to them and their chosen people the rights to manage the Waqf Board, which goes
Where?
into...
Give me the evidence.
Across the country.
Give me the evidence.
Across the country.
Show me a signature on any file.
Well, I mean, let me put it to you that you are taking away
and I'm mindful of the fact everything I sign will be duly RTI'd by the Congress party and those who love me politically.
For example, since let's go into details, Ms. Irani, there is an organization which has been entrusted by the previous dispensations of managing the affairs and developing rightly the properties that are assigned under the Waqf Board. And that you have an agenda to break up that body. That
and
you have an
name
agenda.
Of the body.
Since you're asking me and you had a
give me the name of the body.
Since you had this feeling that I'm not prepared enough for this, I think, Ms. Irani, the fact of the matter is you want to break up that body.
What is that body?
That body is called Nawad Co. And that body has been set up by the Congress government, and the body has been duly set up under the Constitution of India to manage hundreds of thousands of crores of Waqf properties which should be rightly held and managed by members of the Muslim community.
Issue.
And therefore, let me expand, and therefore...
Well, I'm looking at a very shocked push page. Kulsheshji right there. He's wondering what is this body
Hello,
I've never heard about. Let me correct you on that issue. There is an institution called Nawad Co.
Correct.
It is made live by Shri Manmohan Singh in January 2014, just before the general elections. Your information is correct that Nawad Co. is the only Section 25 company in the country that has been given the mandate to take money, especially from the taxpayers, to help maintain, develop, economically resuscitate private Waqf properties. That it is an anomaly is true. That there is no other Section 25 company in the country where taxpayers' money is used to maintain personal private properties of a particular religious dispensation in the country. But you and I both know that I will not be taking administrative decisions in a summit. I can only assure you this, because your summit talks about the time of transformation, that since this right is denied to every other religion in the country, I will bring it up to par.
Please, repeat that. That you will? That you will bring it?
I'll create equality.
No, I think you basically are agreeing with everything I said. I feel that therefore this is a headline-grabbing moment where the Union Minister for Minorities appears to be saying to me, and appears to be saying to a lot of people in the audience that she's going to break up the body that runs Waqf Board institutions in the country. Did I just get the day's biggest headline here?
You are in the business of prediction, presumption, and then presentation. I'm not in that business at all. I have said what I have said. We need to recognize, Arnab, that there is a cauldron in which the Congress party wants this country to boil in. And that cauldron is called religion. Do not set fire to things.
Who's setting fire?
I will only say...
You think Prime Minister Manmohan Singh in 2014 was setting things on fire by setting up Nawad Co?
If I can recollect correctly, the date of establishment was the 28th of January 2014. I wonder why Dr. Manmohan Singh felt that a Section 25 company has to be specifically created to look after private properties of a particular religious community. I have never spoken to Dr. Manmohan Singh about it. But I believe that there is a sense of outrage about it, as you have rightly exhibited it. I cannot be callous and irresponsible and make pronouncements about what am I to do with that particular institution. I can only say this, that I am sworn to uphold the Constitution and ensure that all Indians are equal under law. And I promise you that equality is all that I'll say.
Are you worried about the consequences? You see, if and when you do it, I don't think after what you've said that you should say...
As an administrator, everything you do has consequences.
Sure.
It is your choice whether you want to maintain status quo so that there is less personal consequence and you delve in the privilege of being politically more popular, or you recognize that your country has voted a prime minister into service whose very disposition or declaration was to challenge the status quo. If people of our country were happy with things as they were in 2014, Prime Minister Modi would not be Pradhan Sevak in 14 and 19. People expected change, and change is what we have delivered and will continue to deliver on.
Well, I mean, I would say that it's a very, very major hint by you of what you're about to do. And I think that you are doing it aware of the consequences, aware that there are people in this country who say that you are trying to take away.
There have been moments in our country's articulation where a woman's security has been put to great disrepute. She cannot step out of her house because she was a part of a political TV debate. Don't position me as the next victim.
It still happens.
Beg your pardon?
It still happens. Vis-a-vis you, I didn't want to go there, but it still happens. I mean, I have a whole list of comments that have been made about you in the past, and you have, I mean, you know, you have been targeted personally throughout your political career.
If I wasn't, I'd be worried. I'd be politically really worried if I had not ruffled a few feathers after doing what I did in Amethi.
Now it's going to be a cakewalk.
Is it?
You won't have anyone
there. I
there.
don't presume.
You have no challenger in Amethi anymore, Ms. Irani.
I do not suffer.
But Wasaduddin Owaisi came earlier today and he said, I'll put someone up there against her.
I do not suffer the arrogance of a fool who thinks that just because the people have voted for you, they shall continue to do so even if there is nobody in front of you. I respect the people's mandate. I respect the fact that I need to engage with them every single day and be responsible towards them. I think this is the kind of arrogance because of which the Gandhi bastion lost its kind. I will not make that mistake.
Did you just call Rahul Gandhi a fool?
No, I didn't.
Who are you referring to?
I think that the Indian way of life has always taught us to even give respect to those you consider either your mortal enemy or those who compete with you. Indian value systems have never given us a demeanor which dismisses a competitor. I will never do it irrespective of the fact that the gentleman concerned doesn't have the gravitas to reciprocate.
But they're trying to build a coalition together now under the watch of Mr. Nitish Kumar, who is going away, who's going everywhere, and he's building a coalition of like-minded parties, and you know he's
what
doing
is like-minded about Chara Ghotala and Nitish Kumar?
To combat you.
So can you imagine, like Prime Minister Modi said,
essential need to save democracy.
Can you imagine, like Prime Minister Modi says, "Ek akela sab pe bhari," that they all need to congregate to fight that one man.
But is it politics?
I think it's a great compliment.
Should politics be so one-sided?
Beg your pardon?
Should politics be so one-sided? Is that what you're suggesting?
I think that the fact that so many entities, political entities, who seek to come together need to ask one question, answer one question. First, when we say that there is going to be a coalition, where will that coalition percolate to? Will the JDU fight in Bengal? Will TMC fight Delhi? Will somebody fight from the communist state in Kerala from one of their seats? So what is this amalgam going to translate into? The bonhomie that is being shown in handshakes and photo ops. Let's look at the brass tags. What is their common minimum program? Apart from being anti-Modi. What do they hope to deliver on? Which aspect of the economy? We have now come to a time in our country's history where we are well positioned to take greater leaps. People in this auditorium or this hall today need to ask themselves, can we bring our future into peril again? Can you imagine people who spend 45 crores in renovation of one home in charge of a treasury. Can you imagine people who will let go the killers of a district magistrate by changing the law, a magistrate who was lynched to death? The IS association in this country is up in arms. Can we imagine our future in such hands?
You're referring to Nitish Kumar, who the Bihar government changed the rules to let off the killers of G. Krishnaiah. I'll just put the context right. She's referring, I presume, to the
Please
Bihar
tell
government.
the audience what this is.
I'm sure they know more of them.
Gopalganj district magistrate lynched to death.
Yeah.
And Nitish Kumar changes the rules so that the killer can be taken out so he can attend family celebration.
No.
Can the future of India be safe in such hands? No. So that is why when all of these people come together, who's the other party to this togetherness, to this political bonhomie? Mamta ji? What did she do in Bengal after the elections? A 60-year-old woman gang raped with a grandchild watching. Tell me one citizen in this hall who's comfortable with that. TMC members sitting in each village and telling each community, अगर तुम्हारे लोगों को घर लौटना है तो अपने घर की औरतों को हमारे साथ एक रात छोड़ दो. Which one of you will be comfortable with such people? And that is what India is facing. That is the choice. They're coming together so that they can survive. You need to come together so we as a country can survive.
But drawing room conversation in this country is that there needs to be an opposition. Am I right? I mean, at least on that, everyone agrees with me. There needs to be an opposition. I mean, do you agree with me?
There's nobody who denies there needs to be an opposition.
There needs to be an opposition. I mean, you can't have a unilateralism of your approach.
Please understand, I do not deny the fact, and nobody who's democratic will deny the fact that there has to be an opposition. The issue is it my responsibility? It is the people's choice. Please do not forget, if Rahul Gandhi loses, it's not because Smriti Irani one day got up and said, oh, I think Rahul Gandhi should lose. No. He had 15 years in that one constituency. And what was the consequence of him being a member of parliament there? 80% people had no electricity in a Gandhi bastion of bloody 50 years. Can you imagine people not having toilets in electricity? That place did not have a district magistrate's office, collector's office, fire brigade. I got the first X-ray machine into the district hospital, the first dialysis machine into Amethi. This is what they do to people that they govern singularly for 40 years. So I didn't win because I suddenly one day woke up and said, I am the BJP representative. I won because the people wanted change and they wanted to throw out Rahul Gandhi. So I'm glad that you keep giving me credit. I have worked hard for it, no doubt. But please remember, the Gandhis are out of power because the people of India desired so.
Do you support same-sex marriage? You are the women's and child welfare minister. But what did you say? I missed it. What did you say? What did you just say? I missed it. What did she say? Why did I? Do I jump? Oh.
No. I'm not ascribing anything. I'm just a bit taken aback.
I don't know.
So let me say this as somebody who's a member of the cabinet.
Completely accidental, I can tell you that. But my question, do you support same-sex marriage?
I'm an affected party under the Special Marriage Act. I'm married to a Zoroastrian.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. This is a sub judice matter. If I'm a party to the Special Marriage Act, as somebody who's married under that act, who would I want to opine on my rights? Constitutionally, it's the job of Parliament.
Yeah.
So let the wisdom of Parliament prevail if the issue comes up in front of Parliament.
That's a headline-grabbing moment, I think. You've just said...
Which part?
Because we
began
just
the
had
question on a
the
very
honourable,
shaky thing.
when you're saying in the presence of two of the most distinguished
Well,
senior
I don't
advocates
know
of
whether they'll
the
disagree,
Supreme Court,
but
Ariman
since I'm the
Sundaram, and
affected party, I can only say this. My rights of married to a Zoroastrian, who decides on it? It was created out of an act of parliament. Let parliament speak about it. And like I said, I'm a member of the cabinet, so an issue which is sub judice, I would not like to make a public
but this is a very, very critical point. In fact, I did say the other day that it was welcome when the parliament said that if there is a problem, and when they sent back, I think you'd remember that, Ariman, when they sent back the opposition parties who went saying that we are all being targeted uniformly and we represent 41% of the vote, and the Supreme Court said that if there's a gap in the popular space, it has to be filled up in the popular space, indicating the Supreme Court of the country cannot intervene in political issues. But the Honorable Chief Justice also said that we need to make those changes, and he's also almost suggesting a route when he's saying do it through the Special Marriage Act, and he's saying that the concept, what did he say? I think he said the concept of gender and genitals cannot be linked, etc. Very, very sort of progressive and very,
I know when
controversial
Arnab is baiting me
statements
for
at
a
the same
headline.
time. And I said, I feel, allow me to expand. I feel that you have just asserted the right of the government to decide on the issue of same-sex marriage over that of the judiciary. And what you're saying is let Parliament decide that and not the judiciary. And since you've gone halfway down would you please continue?
I think I have spoken about Parliament. There's a difference between Parliament and government.
No, but you said Parliament means...
I said Parliament.
Yeah, Parliament. So
the two lawyers can confirm.
As opposed to Supreme Court.
Like I said Parliament.
As opposed
and
to the
insofar as your comments about the Chief Justice, I
didn't make a comment, I just quoted what he said.
Whatever, you've quoted, you've commented, or you've reflected on what he has said. I cannot, given constitutional propriety, reflect on what the CGI says. I can only say that this is a domain where people's representatives will debate, deliberate, if such a time comes.
Yeah, okay. Now, you've sent Rahul Gandhi to Wayanad, and from Wayanad,
Is he still there?
Yeah, no, wherever. Straight question to wrap this up with, scintillating session. Do you think he'll come back to Amethi, is my first question. And my second follow-up to that is, you can take both together. What if another member of the family, also keen to join Parliament, comes against you in Amethi? Do you think the Vadra family has vacated the seat altogether? Which
member of the family?
Anyone.
Give me a name.
Well, Robert Vadra is I think he's quite politically ambitious, or anyone else maybe.
Do you think that they will put that guy up? So who do you think?
Anyone, maybe Priyanka if she comes.
Well, she's busy making dosas which are burnt, so I think I have a great future then.
Maybe Sonia Gandhi herself.
I will only say this. It is a great compliment to somebody who was reduced to a who, to now being given a choice of which member of the family will fight against me. But if this is your position as to what the future holds for me vis-a-vis the family, I will only say this, as has been popularly said, then the future shall be fought and not feared.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Well, more power to you, Smriti.
Thank you.
More power to you. And that's why we miss her on our 9 p.m. debates nowadays. But it's amazing, incredible. More power to you and to your conviction. And thank you for this very warm conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, Smriti Irani, thank you.
to build the Vedanta conglomerate as we know it. And he's going to be in the hall in just a few seconds.
Rajiv Goenka Group presents Republic Summit Time of Transformation, co-powered by Robin Group Manufacturers of Electric Cables and Solar Systems. Bharosa rakho, surakshit raho. Mind Super App and beyond. LIC, हर पल आपके साथ.
Through his Vedanta group, he has made massive investments in various Indian states, specifically in the state of Odisha. He shall continue to remain among one of the early names of India Inc. to have taken India beyond its shores to create a global footprint. We've got, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Anil Agarwal on stage for a conversation with the executive editor, News, Niranjan Narayan.